You're listening to the ReachCast show, your weekly stop for the latest and greatest in the PlanetSide 2 universe and its community.
What's going on, everybody? It's July 8th, and you are listening to episode 41 of the ReachCast show. Proud members of the Araxis Global Network and the Podcast Network. Podcast with a K. I'm your host, Adam, aka Torx. With me tonight are my boys in blue and purple. Tom, aka Knox.
Hey, guys.
And Mark, aka Derringer.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, my goodness. This week you're brought to you by our loyal listeners that bought t-shirts for SOE Live, and great listeners like you guys via support the show tab on the ReachCastShow.com. This week, the outfits we played with Imperial Reach, 666 Devil Dogs, 40 Deuce, Dropping Purple Smoke. And I guess before we get to patch notes, I wanted to give a quick thank you to Drifting Nitro and Javelin 6 for you guys' advice for the video card. This week I'm looking to go out and get a video card, and they gave some really good info. So thanks, guys. And with that said, let's get some patch notes.
I'm going to get these mosquitoes in the air and rain down some hellfires on those fools. Oh no! What the f***? I should have listened to the ReachCast patch notes.
Alright, on 7.3, there was a client update. On July 3rd, there's some new items they created. I believe they're all gone now, if I'm not mistaken. The Fireworks Flare Gun, which a lot of people hate, the Sparkler Hood ornaments, and Patriot camos.
Okay.
I'm going to see how long I can ride out this Eeyore thing, right?
Now, regarding the Fireworks Flare Gun, people are already asking when that's going to go away from the game, and honestly, the answer is never.
I paid real money for that. If they take it away from me, they can.
I paid real money for my flare gun and real money for my sexy Patriot camo. Purple stars everywhere.
I wonder if you can, maybe this is like a marketing scheme. They release those and they have like a nullify gun. Like nullifies an area of any sparklers or something. I don't know. Alright, who knows? Alright, to community briefing.
Attention, soldiers! Get your butts in here for this week's community briefing.
Alrighty, com briefing for this week. No Friday Night Ops due to the July 4th holiday. And Game Update 12 is coming to us this week, guys. For those of you guys that already know, Higby said something about that. He said GU12 should be released this week. It has some stuff to help even pop balance, alert timing tuning, and Amherst Lattice and more. So Amherst Lattice is what I took out of that. And
yeah, that should be pretty sweet.
I think a lot of people are upset that it's not the Esamir lattice, since people expected that coming next.
I don't know. I mean, either one's fine with me, as long as we get one of them.
I think it's probably easier because Amherst's terrain leads to a more natural lattice system than Esamir does, where Esamir is very flat. Amherst has roads where, like, that's literally the only way to get to that base, so that's the obvious lattice point.
If you go on the test server right now, they have the Amherst lattice up currently.
Cool.
But, didn't we go over a whole bunch of vehicle tuning last week that supposedly would appear in Game Update 12, but it doesn't sound like that's going to come in Game Update 12 anymore, or am I wrong?
Vehicle tuning?
He says he says and more. So, I mean, let's see what happens.
Did we go over infiltrator changes, sunderer changes, ESF changes, new weapons for the ESF?
We went over ESF changes and infiltrator changes. Sunderer is not coming.
Galaxy changes.
No.
Air and ammo certs. This was all stuff that we talked about last week that potentially could show up in Game Update 12.
We didn't talk about the Sunderer, though.
We talked about different Sunderer deploy types, including dome shields, AoE cloaks.
You're right.
Pre-equipped gun ports for passengers, etc., etc.
See, that's interesting. I would be surprised if Sunderer, Galaxy, ESF all happened at once, because what I understand from the time that Higby went on to what's it? I mean, they could have changed this because it's been a while, but when he went on to Squad Beacon, he said they would be doing like just ESFs, just Sunderer, like one update, then just, Infiltrator, another update. And so I wonder what the case will be. I do remember now the cloaking and the dome shield emitter now.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of the Infiltrator changes as well last week, but hey,
this wouldn't be the first time that a tweet didn't mention everything. Remember the
right.
Game Update 11 preview didn't feature nearly all of what happened.
And he does specifically say "and more," so who knows? All that could be in there. One other thing that I want to pull out of this is the alert timing tuning portion, because I played a lot this weekend over the holiday for the double XP, and it seemed like every time I turned on the computer to come and play, there was an alert going on. So it'd be interesting to see what tuning they are doing to the timing for the alerts, because like I said, it literally was every time I logged in, it was in the middle of an alert. Well, I think that's all we can really talk about Game Update 12 now, just that it will be out this week. So let's instead talk about everyone's favorite thing, the Fireworks Flare Gun Leaderboard. Higby posted the final leaderboard for this. If anybody who wasn't aware, during the 4th of July double XP holiday time frame, they decided that anybody who got kills with the flare gun, they'd throw together a leaderboard, and Higby said he would award the top 10 players a special prize. I do know that there was also talk of giving people some special flair on Reddit for being in the top 10 as well. So there was a lot of competition to be in the top 10 for this. Overall, we have to give congrats to TWF, who was on Connery. He racked up 1,652 kills with the flare gun. Impressive. Toro per kill was in second. He had 300 fewer. But honestly, I feel he should have won the contest. His internet went out for 10.5 hours right in the middle of the contest. And at that time, he was ahead of TWF. So, Toro Kokil, if Higby doesn't do you right with a good prize, let me know, and I'll make sure we get some dog tags out to you as well.
I'm sure their prize is going to be way better than dog tags.
Oh, I'm sure it will, but hey, it's the least we could do if he's not satisfied with what Higby gives him. And finally, the last thing I want to say, just a special mention goes out to our friend It's Murda. He racked up 666 kills in one day. And I believe he came in 6th or 7th place in the whole thing. He was on vacation for the majority of the event and just got home on Sunday for the final portion of it. So to actually put aside that time and make it to the top 10 leaderboard, big props go to It's Murda.
Yeah, it's no joke from getting back and just smashing out 660.
I kind of want to see what number 11 through 20 are.
Well, somebody said post 11 through 15 so people can kind of see how close
11
it
was 1 kill behind. How pissed would you be?
Well, they did tweet multiple times that 11 to 15 range was very close to the number 10 spot, and people leapfrogged each other constantly in the bottom of the top 10.
Oh, man.
Hey, it's, like I said, the winner got over 1,600 kills. That's insane because the flare gun doesn't kill with one hit. It doesn't do a hell of a lot of damage.
We'll just say that if I played all week, I wouldn't get 1,600 kills with regular guns.
That's true.
Alone, that gun.
That's true. That's true. The one last thing I want to say about the flare gun leaderboard before we move on to greener pastures is I really enjoyed this. I really liked keeping up with it while it was tweeted the entire time. And I hope they do more little contests like this because it really brought, I really enjoyed it is what I'm trying to get to.
It's good for the community.
It's
honestly,
real good.
Any competition like that is.
Indeed. So moving on to the community question of the week. There's no bumper, right? I can't remember right now.
No,
there's a community clash.
Community clash. Oh,
yeah, not community question.
My brain's not working. I apologize.
This is what happens when you go on vacation and then try to go back to work immediately.
Yeah. So last week we asked, I do remember asking this question though, is how do you feel about the order in which classes are being revamped, and are there any utility ability devices you would like to see added to your class? And it seems that most people didn't have an issue with the way classes were being revamped, unless they were a light assault player. And Derringer, why don't you go into the different things?
Sure, I'm going to just drive right through all these. So Engineer had the most suggestions out of all of them.
Dive right in.
What was that?
No, I was going to say dive right in.
I didn't say that. As I said, Engineer had the most suggestions overall. Some of the things people were suggesting is to bring an AA turret, a Spitfire turret. For those that don't know, PlanetSide 1, there were Spitfire turrets. These were deployable turrets that when they detected someone moving near it would start opening fire on them. So a lot of people were looking to bring that back to PlanetSide 2. Somebody also suggested a Nanite repair grappling hook. And what it would do is you would fire it at a max that's running away from you while you're repairing them and drag them back to you so you can finish repairing them.
Oh, that's the best idea ever.
Someone else suggested a deployable wall. Another person wanted drones, which we know has been talked about coming potentially to the Infiltrator. And finally, someone else suggested that they have a repair turret. Just some interesting ideas. I really like the AA turret. I'm surprised that's not in the game already.
I could
Anything
make.
else to add?
About the grappling hook idea.
Well,
I want a
wait.
lasso for my medic to pull.
Well, that's the person actually suggested it for the medic first, and then said the same thing for engineer. So
Be a lasso.
we'll get to medics in a few. But next up was infiltrators. Not too many suggestions on this one as it was with engineers. Really, engineers got the lion's share of the comments. But someone wanted to make infiltrators the only class that can disable generators with that tool, that hacking tool, which gives infiltrators just an extra interesting use on the battlefield if they're the only ones that can disable generators.
I think
Next up, what was that?
I think that's a good idea.
I thought it was a good idea too. Just something different.
They feel kind of useless, even with the recon tool, the little orange ball shooty thing.
Yes. Next up, someone suggested a delayed explosive round, and this goes with the next item. Someone else wanted to give them more anti-vehicle options. So someone thought that you could shoot a delayed explosive round and it would stick to a tank or other vehicle and then later on explode a little down the road. And again, more AV option as well, because really the infiltrators don't have much to do against enemy vehicles. And finally, a number of people wanted to have the cloak made a lot harder to see, because they feel with the current changes to how your friendly faction now glows with your color, that people are really picking out the enemy infiltrators much easier now. If you kind of see that shimmer near you, you know to start firing at it. Whereas if you see your friendly infiltrator glowing in your faction color, you're not necessarily going to shoot at them like you would in the past. Next up was Light Assault, and the most interesting one here is a few people suggested giving Light Assault sniper rifles. And this is because a Light Assault is able to get into some of the places that the infiltrators cannot, to make some real good sniper nests within the game. I kind of think it might be a little imbalanced, and
I think
Torx and Nox,
Really, then at that point, what purpose does the infiltrator have?
I think you could probably give them scout rifles. I think make it work.
Disagree.
I kind of think it would be imbalanced as well, but it's something to think about at least. Another number of other people suggested more jump jet options. Someone specifically mentioned the Icarus jump jets, which were something in beta. Do you guys remember what the Icarus jump jets did?
Nope.
I'm trying to remember if there was a couple variations they had talked about in beta that were speculated on. I'm trying to remember which one the Icarus was. If that was, I wonder if that was a shorter one that had the increased vertical boost. I don't remember. I don't want to speculate without. I can't remember. If somebody knows, email us in. I can't remember exactly what it was. I know that Clegg had talked about it a while back, and I can't recall.
And finally, the last item for Light Assault is people really want to be able to pick up their C4 after it's been placed. And they thought that was something that Light Assault should be able to do. So you can pick it up and then replace it somewhere else, especially now with the increase to all the vehicle costs. They feel that they're burning through their certs so much faster, and especially because C4 costs 100 infantry resources as well. And this is really when you're looking at infantry versus the increased cost of max suits. So next up, medics. People want better aim mechanics for the healing tool. They feel that it's really difficult to differentiate between dead bodies on the floor when you're trying to revive them. And also, here comes the Nanite healing grappling hook. And this is to stop people who need heals from running away from you, but also
To pull them
them
I
to
like
safety.
that. Oh, man.
Which I thought was pretty cool as well. If you could drag somebody out of getting shot up, how awesome would that be for a medic?
Be like the anti-troll tool.
Yeah.
That guy's just running around like an idiot. Here, pull him over here.
There's an ability, is it life grip in WoW?
I don't.
There's a lot of
Holy
games that have been
Priest.
using stuff like that.
Holy
You
Priest
got,
can pull people out.
yeah, you got Tor that does a whole bunch of that, and then you got
All right. Well, last up was Heavy Assault. Really not too many comments on Heavy Assault. I believe most people feel that Heavy Assault is in a good place right now. The only suggestion, there was only one comment out of every comment that we got, and there were a ton on Reddit, let me tell you, was only a suggestion to expand the anti-infantry and anti-vehicle options and make them separate trees on the accordion. I don't really know how that would actually work, but I think they want to branch out more and kind of specialize between anti-infantry and anti-vehicle for Heavy Assault. But again, there really weren't a lot of comments regarding Heavy Assault.
Kind of like that idea. I think they should make it so I can carry 2 guns or 2 rocket launchers or something like that. That'd be sweet.
It'd be cool to have something like an anti-infantry rocket. But
Yeah, it's called a regular rocket.
It's called the S1.
yeah. All right. Well, finally worth mentioning was a debate spurred by nameless set of hands suggested rolling back the resource changes, removing the timer acquisition system, and make it so that the only vehicles anyone can pull is a flash unless they insert it into a vehicle and reward resources for kills in that particular vehicle that allow you to pull more of that vehicle or upgrade that vehicle. So that's definitely a large change from what it is now. Interesting idea, though, so it's something we wanted to bring up.
I really like the idea personally, and a few other people on Reddit really like the idea as well.
Goes back to how PS1 worked, isn't it?
No, you didn't get...
Kind of.
When in PS1 you got a set number of certs to spend based on your battle rank, and you could cert into a specific vehicle, and that was the only way to pull that vehicle. So in a way, yes, but where he goes into getting resources for kills while using that vehicle, I really like that idea, but I think it's almost impossible to implement in the game.
That's kind of what Sardis was talking about in his post on PSU that I talked about, where performance rewards you with resources rather than just idly sitting by while the continent's controlled by you.
Thinking about this, it's why not just add something as simple as that for every kill? Depending on what you kill, you earn X number of resources in that pool. If you shoot down an enemy air with a friendly air, why can't you earn some air certs or air points, air resources? Same thing if I'm killing tanks in my tank, why can't I earn vehicle resources? I don't think it's a bad idea, and I don't think it's something that's too difficult to implement in that aspect, rather than just the single way that they're doing it now. You gain resources based on the areas that your faction controls.
Well, there's a resource revamp coming sometime.
Yeah, I don't
think it's on the roadmap, but I can't remember which month.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way to give you resources to upgrade your vehicle. That would just be reworking the entire system. But I hope that when they do the resource revamp, they look into something like this of giving some additional rewards for your kills in those vehicles, or as an infantryman. Well, we've talked a lot, but should we wrap it up with our thoughts?
Yes. What we think. I think that I'm not really upset about the order. I mean, I know Light Assault was talked about, and I actually have been playing more Light Assault when I do play. But I'm just happy that SOA puts any time into revisiting these things to make them more enjoyable. A lot of times I could imagine people just going, it's already done. Let's do other things. So I think that's good.
Well, I'm not upset either. I think it's fine the way it is. But as I said before, I was very surprised that there weren't more comments about Heavy Assault. I would like personally to see more grenade options given to heavy assault. I want to see more shield options and more different shield options. I would even like to see a miniature version of the Aegis shield given to heavy assaults. I would also like to see some upgradable sprint options for rushing points when you actually have your shields up, because right now when you pop your shield you run slowly, but why can't I cert up in that to take away some of that slowness?
To move faster instead of making the recharge time shorter.
Right.
Something like that. I like that. Yeah, you have good ideas. Why didn't you post?
Because
this is your post.
Because I'm a host on the show.
And
I will say that a lot of the stuff that I'm suggesting, especially that sprint option, could fall under implants, and I'm still holding out to see what more information we're going to get regarding implants. I'm hoping to corner one of the devs at SOE Live and say, "Give me some dirt on implants."
Sure.
Nice.
And I hope they don't take me to a back room in Vegas and start hacking apart my body and putting shit under my skin.
Do what? Oh my gosh.
I hope I don't come home with a cybernetic eye.
Wow. All right. The only thing two things I really want are just a lot of people have already mentioned is anti-vehicle options for infiltrators, and I want a jump jet for a light assault that's like almost like a best way to explain this, like getting vaulted. Like you get to use it once and it blows like the entire jump jet, but it like launches you like a roll, like up, like a jump, like a big jump.
Then
like
how do you land?
It does. I mean, it's like you don't take damage from impact from landing. It's like so you want to run over the side of a wall of like a tech plant or something like that. Or not a tech plant, sorry, an amp station. And you're running up to it instead of slowly accelerating up and then over it and everything like that. You just hit it and you just fly like a big leap over the wall, but it's shot for, depending on the rank of it, for a period of time.
Admit it, you just want to jump over biolabs.
I don't know about over, but it'd be, I don't know. It's just different options, but those have already kind of been talked about. People just want more options for light assault jump jets, and I think infiltrators need anti-vehicle options, and that's really all I have. And that's not much other than that.
The only reason I agree with you. I've said this, but the anti-vehicle options for the infiltrator, and it's not because I want to be able to kill them because I'm stealth. It's because when I see vehicles as an infiltrator, I run around looking for the nearest terminal. Like, that's what I do. If I see a bunch of tanks coming down the road, it's like, all right, where's the next terminal? Medic, you can run around. You're like, all right, where's a bunch of heavies that I can res if they die? Engineer, you're like, where's a bunch of heavies I can give ammo to, or maxes I can repair, or where can I sit on my AV turret if I have it? Light assault, I can C4 them. Like, everyone has that option. Infiltrator's like, where's the terminal? I need to switch class.
Yeah. I think you should have like maybe even a dart option, because like the sensor darts are basically anti-infantry. Well, I wouldn't say entirely, but it's primarily
Tag it for lock-on rockets.
Well, yeah, something like that, or have like a EMP dart, where I don't know. I mean, maybe use the darts as an option of ways to disable vehicles. Maybe not necessarily kill, but I like the lock-on idea for rockets. That's pretty cool.
Or tag it for high-flying liberators to hit with Daltons, what would normally be out of visibility range.
Yeah, that's cool too. That kind of provides that kind of symbiotic relationship.
Something.
That's my only concern with that, is that you are forcing a symbiotic relationship there where you have to be using something else, and that still leaves you with Nox's issue that he still has to run for a terminal if there's no one around.
Yeah, if you're playing solo, it kind of leaves you very little in the way options.
If you're solo infantry and a row of tanks are rolling up to you, don't
not a
really
row,
have
but
much anyways.
Not a row necessarily, but just say like one tank. Lone lightning out in the middle of nowhere. You really don't have any options as an infiltrator.
I think that's a perfect segue.
Yes, it is. Bug report.
No. Next week's question.
Yeah.
Next week's question is, how is that a segue?
You just said lone wolf players.
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose so. Yeah. For those of you who are lone wolf players, and you still don't have an outfit. Why do you not have an outfit? Is it like our listener from last week where you feel blacklisted, or do you just not care to? We want to know.
All right. With that being said, we'll go on to the bug report for the week.
Is this going to be a stand-up fight, sir, or another bug hunt?
It's a bug hunt. What exactly are we dealing with here?
ReachCast bug report.
The very first bumper ever made.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we heard that one, huh?
Yeah, we never really revamped that one. I cringe every time I hear it. I'm like,
I think it's awesome.
What do you mean? I thought I did a good job on that.
You did do a good job.
All right, well,
it doesn't mean I can't cringe.
we do have a bug that we wanted to go over this week because we're not sure that everybody's aware of this. There's a forum post out there titled Hits Not Registering. We'll include a link. But currently being reported by many players, specifically in regards to using turrets, skyguards, and bursters on your max, they are not registering hits on enemy air. The current fix...
God. I was wondering about my bursters. Like, I saw explosions. I'm like, I'm not doing any damage. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, hits are not registering at... They do for a while, and then all of a sudden, bam, they're not registering anymore. And you're right, you'll see your flak just going
Depending
crazy.
on which mosquito I was shooting at.
Yeah, so there is a current fix for a burster, and that's just to go to a terminal, swap out your weapons, and then re-swap back to your bursters, and it should fix it. But unfortunately, there is no fix for skyguards or turrets, so spawn your skyguard at your own risk, because they cost a lot to get out, and, there's a chance that they may not work. Yeah, a lot of people are angry about this, that skyguards are not doing any damage, especially since they just got buffed recently as well. The only report that we can give regarding this is that SOE is aware of it, and they are logging all the reports to try and track down why this is occurring. So continue to file reports when it does happen to you so they can recreate it and track it down and get to the bottom of it. So I guess it's really just be careful.
Alrighty. Thank you for the bug report. On to Good, Bad, and the OPE.
Have another drink on me, soldier.
Okay, thank you kindly.
If you can look hard enough past all the death and all the sorrow, there are good things. You must remember that we will overcome. The good, the bad, and the overpowered.
That bumper makes me wonder, like pictures like Graphic J did for a Mailbag, with like a dark, sinister, like Wild Wild West.
Oh,
clown pick.
I don't imagine what that main dude talking looks like. He's clearly a badass. Yeah. I question more the guy who's like, "Oh, thank you kindly." I want to see what he looks like. All right, so my good is I took vacation this last week. It was awesome. I ignored PlanetSide 2 like outright after we recorded Monday, and I replayed the episode Tuesday. I just didn't pay any attention to PlanetSide. I need a break from everything sometimes. It was great. But because of that, I'm pretty excited to play next time I get a chance to play. So, and my bad is last episode I made a complete ass of myself. Basically about everything air related. And I apologize. I'm never theorizing about air ever again. I'm just going to read the notes like a robot and move on from there.
So you're telling me the default guns...
No, everything I said was wrong. Everything.
All right.
The people were pretty nice about telling you you were wrong, at least.
Yeah, they were.
None of them called you out and said you were stupid or anything.
No.
Hey, there was one guy's comment that's like, you couldn't be more wrong.
Yeah. I was totally wrong, so...
All right, well, my good, let's see, double XP, bonus station cash, flare guns, Patriot camo. What can I say? It was a great weekend to be a PlanetSide 2 player. I mean, I racked up over 1,500 certs, 4 battle ranks. I played the piss out of PlanetSide from July 3rd on. That's all I can say, except for Friday when I had to go to work. But then I left early, so I got on Friday night and played like crazy too. My bad. I only got one kill with my flare gun, and it was by accident. And once I realized how hard it would be and how many kills Toro Kill already had, I did not even bother with the contest because I knew I would be a loser.
It's kind of sad to hear that.
I mean, it's like I
kill.
said, I would never even get that many kills with a regular gun. I wouldn't try.
My good for the week is the double XP thing as well, and I got a lot of playtime this weekend, so that was good. My bad is this intermittent mass lag that I started seeing after the client update with flare guns. Sometimes I would see some smoke, some of the colored smoke, and I would just completely lock up, lag out, and it started getting really irritating. It was just random times. I've yet to see this addressed or spoke about, and I don't necessarily always see it with the smoke either. It's just kind of, I don't know, it feels like a memory leak, but then at the same time, it's not time related to the amount of time I have per game session either, so it's weird. And I'm trying to think if there's any other. I thought there was something else for bad this week. I can't remember what it was. Well, can't be that important. All right, on to ReachCast mailbag.
Oh, it's a perfect morning. Great timing, the mailman's just coming.
Morning. Here's the mail. Big bag, a big bag.
He must be ready to get away. Very strange. What's the sticking sound? Going to take a look here in this bag of mail. Oh no!
Now you just open the ReachCast mailbag.
Oh boy. All right, 2 calls this week. Call number 1.
Hey guys, this is Robo over from GOTR. I saw your tweet asking people what they wanted to change for their favorite class. I played Medic almost exclusively, and the thing I'd like changed, the healing grenade, the Nanite healing grenade, is kind of useless when you compare it to the rest of the things that Medic can do. So what I would like changed, instead of it being a grenade option, I'd like the Nanite healing grenade to be a ability option. So you can choose between having your area of effect heal on your Medic, or you can equip the grenade and basically have an area of effect heal, over there instead of right around your character. Because there are sometimes we see a lot of people that are injured, but you can't get to them, or you don't want to risk running over there because you'll probably die too. Wouldn't it be cool if you could press S for your ability and throw your healing over there? And then if you recharge at the same time, or instead of being a grenade, which is sort of a one-off thing and doesn't really help you, when you consider that a revived grenade is better in pretty much every other situation. So this is Robo from Go. That's what I would like to see. Thanks, guys.
I think I agree with him.
What do you think, Darren? You're the big Medic player.
I play heavy assault. What are you talking about?
I've been playing lots of Medic, and I fully agree with him.
I think it is a pretty cool idea in my opinion. So yeah, for those that obviously heard the call, basically having a grenade where you can place an AoE heal area, like an ability to do that elsewhere. That's pretty cool. All right, call number 2.
Hey guys, it's Mono. Just giving you a call to voice my opinion on the battle island that we saw. I thought it was awesome. Yeah, I missed my call last week, but and then I also have been contacting outfits to see how many outfits are interested in the whole esports idea. So I've contacted outfits on Briggs, Connery, Waterson, and Matheson. I've contacted 138 of them. So far, we have 15 that said yes, 14 that said maybe, 10 that said no, and the rest have not responded. 2 of them that said yes, they're just not large enough. One said that they were interested in specifically 12v12. The maybes they were just awaiting further details. So I'm not sure whether they're large enough or if they want to do things smaller like the one that said yes, but only for the squad size. And then the no, a couple people are still interested in it, but their outfit isn't interested in it. And then some people aren't interested in it, but they don't know about their outfit. So they're not speaking for the whole thing. So probably if it's the outfit leader that I'm talking to, they're not interested. All right. Take it easy, guys. Love the show, as always. Bye.
Well, I think kind of is what I would expect, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's I'm trying to think how to say it, but basically it's hard to get that many people together. Like, the reason why a game like Call of Duty and Counter-Strike is so appealing is you need 4. I think Call of Duty's 4 people, Counter-Strike's 5 people. League of Legends, 5 people. Like, you don't need to get 48 people together to play the game and make a team. You don't need 48 people to be online to practice and become good. The other problem is PlanetSide's not an established competitive FPS, where when I was playing Desert Combat, I was really good at Desert Combat and the competitive infantry areas, but that was because anyone good at FPS was playing at the time like Quake 3 and Counter-Strike. Like, they weren't playing Desert Combat, and so I think that's going to be the hardest. The people who have interest in competitive FPS are probably not playing PlanetSide. So how do you get them playing PlanetSide, and how do you get enough of them playing PlanetSide? Even those people are few and far between that want to put the time into it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see once the MLG aspect of PS2 gets off the ground and you start actually seeing competitions, how many outfits we actually see in the roster continuously. It'd be intriguing once people actually see it for themselves and are like, oh man, I really want to see that. I really want to do that now after they see it.
I don't know if they bring 10 or bring 5 teams, but I bet it will be the same ones every time.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We have a whole bunch of emails this week, so let's get to them. The first one is Lowat Barbecue. He says, "Hey guys, Lowat Barbecue here, and I'm wondering if you like this idea." He's talking about, so for LAs or light assaults, he was wanting a jetpack where if you strafe left and right and press F, you would fly that way very quickly, similar to Halo 4's thruster pack. It's almost like a strafe pack, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Oh, he wants 80-80.
No, he wants to be a mag rider.
Strafing jetpack. I know it's a cool idea. It's a
strafe dancing jetpack.
Strafe dancing jetpack. I like I said, any concept to add more options to the jetpack for LA. I'm down with. Now, if it's going to be, I would have to see this in action. Obviously, that seems like it could be something that could be exploited heavily. But yeah, I think it's a cool idea. Balanced, that's another story. We'd have to see.
Oh man. All right. So Ash87 has a very long email for us, but basically, I'm not going to read this. This is very long. Basically, he says he's not unhappy with the order. He likes order. He thinks that he's not upset about light assault being pushed back behind infiltrator and medic, because light assault is already a really great class when you actually utilize the power of its mobility. So the jetpack is, that's what I said a long time ago, and he's correct. If you don't use the jetpack, you think light assault needs a buff. A lot of people want jetpack options, and I understand. I'm not saying they're in the wrong, but yeah. Anyways, he's not upset, so it'll get there eventually. Moving on, though, he thinks that each class he has some ideas for each class and utility that they could be given. For light assault, he thinks a short-range teleporter would be really good, something that you drop on the ground, leap up onto a wall or something above it, and then place the second one and then teleport. So that's kind of like the TF2 one, but much shorter range, I imagine, in his head, and I think that's a really good idea.
He wants to be a warlock.
It's Team Fortress 2 engineer, okay? And listen, I think it's a fantastic idea, because the Sunder is on the outside of the wall. It would give light assault like huge utility. Then not everyone would have to be light assault, so that's cool.
Well, don't forget there was something like this in PlanetSide 1.
Oh, was there? Well, there you go. So Team Fortress 2 stole it from PlanetSide 1.
Came out with Core Combat, where you could drop a point, and I even forget what it was called now, because I hated Core Combat that much. But it was this floating little swirly thing, and you'd step in it and you'd teleport to another spot. So a lot of people would place it right next to the Sunderer and then have the other side pop out right at the spawn room of inside the base you were attacking to funnel people in even faster. It was more than a short range teleporter, but There's something like it in PlanetSide 1. Maybe that's where he got his idea from. Either that or he wants to be a warlock.
Yeah. That would have to be pretty short range, or that would be exploitable as all get out, in my mind.
What's not exploitable? So, the medic, he wants, like, speaking of what's not exploitable, a mobile spawn tube for the medic. So, basically, it's what you think it is. It's squad token, but overpowered. So...
honestly, why wouldn't an engineer get this over a medic, personally?
Well,
yeah, that sounds more engineer-wise.
True, and just to just so it doesn't sound totally ridiculous, he does say that it would work similar to the Sunderer, so I imagine it would have a no deploy radius around it in his head. But
okay, yeah.
I mean, I'm just assuming. I don't think he specifically wrote that. He has a triage station idea, which is basically a deployable heal, like the engineer heal, and it could go away after it heals so much. The engineer, he wants mini turrets, so like AV AI options for the engineer that could spawn less powerful versions of the engineer ones, but any player could pick it up and start using it. Like mobile sandbags, deployable cover, that kind of thing is a popular request. A mini terminal, something that people could switch their loadouts on.
I like that one. It's exploitable,
also,
but I kind of like
yeah, I was just going to say, also exploitable. So, yeah, he's got some ideas. And there's some other more complicated ones.
I like the LA idea, like that. Going thinking back about the teleport thing, that's like on a biolab, put it up like above a biolab door. Oh my gosh! Oh, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, on the outside of the biolab entrance, onto the top of the rock,
onto the top, yeah,
of the big rock. Oh, that would be epic.
Oh my gosh, that'd be horrible.
So. Yeah, other ideas. Engineer could place generators that power other placeables, and it kind of goes into, I guess, just more placeables and more utility for those placeables, basically. So, we appreciate the email.
All right, next up was from Maz BTS. He says, I'm personally fine with the order that they are being updated. I'm glad Infiltrator is getting it next because I feel they have needed it for a while now. And as for more utility, we need swords for infiltrators. That's all. Nothing else.
He wants that
Swords,
chivalry combat.
He wants a vibro sword, like Hanzo blade.
I'm
Hanzo
totally
blade.
sword if it one-shots people.
That would be crazy. Can you imagine how much? Oh my gosh! I think shotguns, crying for shotguns. Good lord.
He wants to run over the blade from Halo, right?
Oh yeah.
So broken. You even get the dash too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dash stab. Launch him into the air.
Dash stab, one kill.
Yeah.
So
One shot
broken.
kill.
All right. Well, we have another email from Chris H. And he lists off a couple good examples of last week Tom made a remark about symmetrical map design.
That was another thing I was kind of wrong about.
Well, you're not necessarily, because you didn't, somewhat, but you weren't entirely wrong about what you said. He gave some examples in Quake and Counter-Strike of symmetrical map designs, and kind of makes commentary on PlanetSide 2 and how it could benefit. There might be small benefits to doing it that way, and places like Battle Islands where you could remember, depending on which side you play, the defensible and the offensible strategies for the points, which, it's the whole point of symmetrical map design, right?
I think, I thought about this a bit. Should I say now or later?
Go ahead, dude. I mean, it's open forum.
Well, I kind of thought about it a bit, and the benefit of the symmetrical map design for PlanetSide is that I don't imagine these being short matches, so playing a map twice would take forever. So this eliminates the need to play a map twice, each team playing one side.
The thing though, and depending on how they handle the Battle Islands, is that, so we saw that there was kind of a gate on either end, right? And then there was all the middle ground. I couldn't tell how much outside of those gates surrounded to the north and south. But depending on how many points or need to be captured, to maintain however it's going to be, whether a point capture system, which I think is what they were talking about. But symmetrical map design may not be necessary. You know what I'm saying? Because you could be assaulting the same points from either side.
No, if you don't want to have to play both halves, you have to have symmetry.
Right. I agree there.
Yeah. We'll have to see once they release the Battle Island. I'm sure there's got to be ways to balance it without having complete symmetry. You know what I'm saying?
There's not.
Right.
It's not possible.
Anyways, he goes on to say a couple things. He says he basically makes a mention. He said, "Oh, this is a good part." He says, "The question is, does devoting resource is SOE making is SOE benefiting from devoting resources to MLG?" And he says he argues that it does make sense that they devote resources to the MLG development and potentially raise the profile of the game and thus the likely player base and or station cash potential. So yeah, I agree with that. He says he doesn't personally care about MLG, but he can see the reasoning of why they would push MLG competition for PlanetSide 2. He has a kind of a extended question, but I'll shorten it. He's wondering what our thoughts on the current anti-air balance or the current AA balance of the game is, I should say. And I'll just leave it at that. What do you guys think, Tom, Mark?
Well, he says in light of the flak bug.
Well, the flak bug brings about the question, but I think he was asking before that what our thoughts are. Let's say with and without the flak bug, because we kind of already talked about the flak bug. Let's say.
Well, see, honestly, like, I think when that flak bug's fixed, you might see the air go down a bit, because honestly, the first 3 times I used it, I had the bug all 3 times, and I just thought I couldn't shoot the burster anymore, that it just sucked. I was like, I clearly am no good at this anymore, so I'm not even going to bother trying. So I stopped even trying. There's more air. If other people have the same attitude I have, then yeah, they're just going to quit trying. There'll be more air. Oh, really? Like, I was just like, I suck. I can't do this. I'm done. Bother.
What do you think, Mark?
Well, I mean, with the bug gone, I agree. That's the way we have to look at it. I really like the Skyguard tweaks. I don't really like the max tweaks personally. I suck at flying, so I don't fly. So I'm more the ground side of it, and I don't think the balance is that bad when everything works as it's supposed to. Like I said, let's get the bug fixed and the Skyguard and the bursters working again, and then let's see how those tweaks have come into the game and go from there. That's kind of the only thing I can say about it at this time.
This last weekend, I don't think I've ever seen that many Liberators in my life over most bases that we assaulted.
Oh, I saw tons of air.
I know, it was pretty insane. So I'm interested to see once the flak bug is fixed, we continue to see 6 libs per base that we're assaulting. But that's pretty much the end of that email. But thank you for the email, Chris H.
So, all right, our next email is from Literary Bacon. And he says he primarily runs infiltrators, so he's really excited about this. So much so that he called it voyeuristic. So look that up in the dictionary if you don't know what that means. But he does say that he would like to see some way to influence vehicles and mechs besides shooting engineers, and he doesn't just want to see the EMP grenade become this like solve all sort of item. So he doesn't want to see the EMP like disable Max's vehicles and do the little fuzzy screen thing it does, disabling shields. And he would rather have different things like specifically for vehicles and specifically for Maxes. So I kind of agree. You don't want one thing to do everything that's too good. And then as for the order of revamps, he's curious as to why they're prioritizing medics of all things, considering that C4 and light assault's overpowered, and increasing the volume of with the recent considering the C4 plus LA equals OP ire that is increasing in volume with the recent resource changes, he thinks light assault is probably going to need the attention sooner rather than later. So, and
I'd argue against that, seeing that almost every kill against me this weekend was a light assault flying at my face with a shotgun one-shotting me. So screw you, light assaults.
L2 aim. So, but he does say that the fact that they're choosing medics next makes him consider that the revamp and passes on a class don't necessarily mean straight buffs or extra utility, but just redesign of current utility. So he's kind of wondering what adjustments they might make to the medics and how it may affect the medic, if at all. And he uses lots of good words in here. I like the word tenacity. That's a good word. So I'm wondering what adjustments they might make to the current mechanics and how, if at all, it might address the tenacity of medic heavy squads. So, yeah. He also does wonder how this will affect MLG. So, yes, that's Literary Bacon's email.
Yeah, Literary Bacon, I'm on that C4 LA OPIR train, so don't worry.
Cry it up, Vandit player.
Just tired of light assault. And you know what else pisses me off about it is because I suck playing light assault. Can't kill anybody with it. So, I get killed like 6 times in a row by the same light assault with a shotgun to the face. So I'm like, well, God, if he's doing it, I might as well be able to do that too. So sure enough, pull out my shotgun, go light assault, fly up somewhere, and I get shot out of the sky in 2 seconds and I'm dead.
It's all about approach vector.
I hate light assaults.
It's all about approach vector. Go pick up your Orion and then cry.
You need the L2.
All I can say is every time I die as light assault, I say, why am I stupidly playing light assault when I'm good at heavy assault and I can one-shot people in the head with my S1? And then I go kill a few people with the S1 and then I'm happy again. And this is why I don't play light assault. Screw you, light assault. I hope you die in a fire. Next up, we got an email from Chris W. He says, Team Fortress 2 has a number of symmetrical maps. CP well, for instance. They work pretty well. You get some interesting tactics coming out of it. Some people rush the center and just keep the other team on the back foot, while others set up behind the center in case their team gets pushed back. So thank you, Chris W. There's another instance of how we see symmetrical maps and how they can probably work in MLG. And, going back to Chris H's email, this would be the other Chris. I was happy to hear him say that Quake did indeed have symmetrical maps, since I said to you, Tom, doesn't Quake have symmetrical maps?
Can I say something about this, though? Is the symmetrical Quake maps are Capture the Flag, which was never used at the professional level, and same Team Fortress 2 isn't a professional level game either, where people are playing at MLG, CPL, WCG, or whatever you want to call it. Either way, that's a small minor detail. There are definitely symmetrical maps out there. And I mean, I did kind of say it like there aren't, and there definitely are, and I should have known that would come back to bite me, but yeah.
Yeah, rotary cannons are no good either. Guys, we're next email's from Narc. Says, you guys ever been, we were talking about other games we play that other than PS2, and he said he didn't hear us mention Warframe. He said if you haven't played it, check it out. It's a free-to-play shooter. No PvP yet, but has great solo and co-op play. It looks and plays awesomely. Just a recommendation I think you guys might enjoy. Love the show. Keep it up. I did download Warframe this week, and it crashed right off the bat when I tried to start it. And I didn't try too much past that, to be absolutely honest, Narc. And I not that I have a problem with it. I'll probably try again this week, see if I can get it working. Their site looked pretty cool. The stuff I saw during the media for it looked pretty cool. But I've yet to get it to work. So we'll.
I started playing Escape Velocity Override, and anyone who knows what that game is, you are a champion. Oh, you're talking about other games. Okay.
I haven't played Warframe either, but you know what kind of turns me off is that it's solo and co-op only. I mean, I play MMOs and that's about it. Just my 2 cents. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, it's a shooter that's against
free-to-play shooter.
Robots.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, people really
sounds like Halo.
Borderlands, but it's kind of why Borderlands I didn't like. So,
well, let's not talk about Borderlands, otherwise Torx is going to go off on a tangent.
Yeah. So Wolf07 writes us an email in very poor English, and he apologized for it. I'm not just criticizing him. He said, "Sorry for the bad grammar first. I'm not English." But he says SOE. God, every word's spelled wrong. I feel like, where's my flamethrower when I'm gonna get my flamethrower? So yeah, once we get the flamethrowers, I'm gonna purify the thoughts of all who are against the flame and pure blaze of fire. But that's gonna take some time, and I don't intend on skipping on all of the rest of my enemies. And maybe a few friendly units that will jump in front of me when I'm burning stuff. Clearly, he wants his flamethrower. So
keep going. He's got some good stuff.
I think
it's well.
Well, can you?
I think he's saying, "Why can't you? Why can't you change?
Why can't? Why can't?
I think he's trying to say, "Well, you can
Biolab to Biohell when the flamethrowers come out." And those who didn't buy the flare gun are missing out. That's some challenging, fun stuff to use, and I got a laugh out of it. Hopefully this wasn't hard to read. And can I give you guys an audio recording via email next time? Oh, yeah. You can't
Absolutely,
do that.
Dude. Absolutely. Send us an MP3. Don't send us some whacked out format, please. It's never fun to re-encode that. Send me like an MP3 or a WAV or something. WAV is pretty obviously large, but send me an MP3. It usually works the best.
He said he already made and sent you one, but you guess you skipped it because you didn't know what it was.
If you sent it to me in I'm trying to think we got a call that was, I did get something from someone. I don't think it was him though. It wasn't from, his name wasn't Wolf. I got something in some weird codec that's like a mobile phone codec, but when I tried to re-encode it, it was all scrambled. Maybe if that was him, sorry, man. Send it to me on MP3. It's usually the most universally acceptable.
Sweet. Yeah. Flamethrowers. We've had a lot of there's going to be flamethrowers. Oh, no, not yet.
Yeah, it's been very quiet on the flamethrower front lately.
You know what I'm guessing is it's a performance thing.
I forgot
about
that.
If the fireworks were causing lag, flamethrowers are most definitely going to be causing
lag. Oh my gosh, can you imagine everybody have flamethrowers just running through an area?
It'd be too much.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so our thank yous for the week. We have a lot again this week. MFP TK02, Ash87, Graphic J, Kassarian, Dark Mesa, Cami Camera, Kaylee J, J Bonat, Vuja, yeah, I guess Vuja.
Yeah, you're good so far.
Shidow 90, Hunted Storm, 7 rounds, Buddha 1231, Tinned Waffles.
I like that one.
I like that too. I don't know why I like it, but
I don't either.
Like it. It's Iranough, I guess. C4 Go Boom, nice. Strelic, Wait This Isn't Dig. I assume that this guy came out of Reddit.
Yes.
That's a Reddit name. Mr. Herp Derp, for sure. Wooda 99. Cyrus 108.
Good job.
Holy crap, you got the silent P.
I know.
Yeah.
I was expecting Cyrus.
You know what?
Yeah,
this drinking game is over.
Yeah, I guess I got a drink to make it a drinking game. The Boxcar Gypsy, Atreon, Zigzag 8, Winoli, Uhanoli.
It's Uhaniole.
Uhaniole. Oh, that's right. We had that. That's right. We had that. Like the play version of it. I gotta find that. Played his name. Timo was taken. Lamaya.
Whoa! You didn't laugh. Are you all right?
I mean,
are you meant?
It's only like
okay.
After 3 times. I mean,
it's more like 5 times.
That's not even a name. C4H5N201.
I think it's O1, and I think it's actually a chemical formula. I looked it up quickly, and I didn't come across anything.
It does look like one.
So it's carbon 4, helium 5, nitrogen 2, oxygen 1. I don't know what that is.
Nitroglycerin, maybe?
I Googled it, and I didn't come up with anything.
Stradlingmon, I guess.
I think it's Strading Lemon.
Strading Lemon. Yeah, that would have made more sense. A name
Strutting Lemon.
Strutting Lemon. The nameless pair of hands.
I'm sorry, dude. We had to type that in. Your name was vulgar, but you had some good points.
Yeah, you had some very good points, but your name was a little over the top, bro. Sorry. Mass BTS, Chris, Literary Baking, Chris W, Narc, Wolfo7, Calder, Random Pilot, and Lol What Barbecue. So thank you everybody for your commentary, comments, emails, etc., etc.
I found his posts in PlanetSide by searching his username on Google. C4.
Still doesn't tell us what it means though.
I don't think it means anything. It's all like user blog, user overview.
There's got to be. That's got to be something. Oh, well, anyways, go on. Contact info.
Yeah, I'm going to close it out this evening with our contact info. So, as always, our website is reachcastshow.com. Our Twitch channel is twitch.tv/reachcast. Our Steam group, if you just search for ReachCast, you can find us there. As always, we love emails at reachcastshow@gmail.com. Even more than emails, we love phone calls at 415-787-3224. Our show Twitter is at ReachCastShow. My Twitter is at The Derringer. Torx is...
ReachCast Torx.
And Nox is...
Noxia, Noxxia.
And quick thank you to the rest of the ReachCast crew, Steve, Cliff, John, Jenny Boo, and Hammer. That's it for this week's show.
Well, it's not actually it for this week's show. We just got to do a little more housekeeping at the end and remind everybody that if you are interested in a t-shirt, we do still have our t-shirt campaigns running.
There's purple and blue now, too.
We did put out some purple and blue ones. There's very small interest in the purple and blue ones, but if you're looking forward, get on it and get into them right away. They're going to end before you know it, and you're going to miss out. The red shirt has hit its goal to print, so any additional people piling on after this are just gravy. The red shirts will definitely print. So again, we'll include the links to all these in the show notes if you are interested, and we thank you if you do order a t-shirt from us. That's it for the show. Take us out.
Everybody have a good week. I'll see you later.
See ya.
Okay.
Okay.
That's right, Sergeant. You made the call. All right, soldiers. You've done a great job here today. Let's get our stuff and get the hell out of here. Come in, Sergeant. We hope to see you again.